Good morning, guys. And you know what today is? It's Monday Morning Chats with Sack, and Sack is me. I hope that you guys had a phenomenal weekend. I hope that you guys were able to do something fun. I hope that you guys were able to be around family. But most importantly, I hope that you guys were able to smile. During this pandemic, most people are not smiling as much because of the limited access that they have to places or to family or friends. So I hope that you were able to smile just a little bit more than the prior week. This week for me, well, last week for me was the beginning was okay. From Monday through Wednesday, I had some difficult conversations, some great conversations, honestly, with some colleagues. And family members. And the one thing that I learned about myself is that I'm not afraid to speak up, even if that means that I'm jeopardizing everything that I work for. What I learned about myself is that I'm not afraid to speak about on what's right. And it may be the same thoughts that someone else may have, but they are afraid to say so. Me, I'm not afraid. I'll tell you how I feel in a professional way, in a way that you understand. And then Friday, I took a mental health day. That was my day where I was just able to just say, whew, I am going to rest. But then, I use that day to spend time with my family. That's important to me. And it felt really good to see some family that I haven't seen in a long time. So it was a good feeling. And so for this week, I thought about, what I wanted to talk about today. I talk about a lot of things, and this past week I've been in deep thought as to, you know, building my family and what can I do to make my family better, as far as like, my cousins, bringing us together more, my aunts, my uncles. And I was thinking about, who should I like pass the baton to? I'm always planning things, and what little cousin can I sit down and say, hey, this is what you need to do at this age? And then I thought about, what motivates me? And that's a question that can be, subpart A, subpart B. It's a multi question, if you want to say. And so I thought about, what motivates me. There's a lot of things that motivates me, but I think the main thing that motivates me is one, I know what it's like not to have anything. And so my early childhood, I come from humble beginnings. I know what it's like not to have anything. And so growing up, I just knew that education was my way out. And irrespective of what was going on in my environment, I just knew that if I do really well in school, I can go to college and I could become anything that I want to be. And I had that mindset since I was a young child. And so for my early childhood, just knowing that, hey, I didn't come from anything, and I know that I want to be somebody. So because of that, that's what motivate me. Another thing that motivates me is that believing in myself, believing that like I can really do these things, regardless of what it is. And I think a lot of times, people lack motivation. It's not because of the exterior things going on, people telling you like, hey, I'm proud of you, or hey, I know you could do this. Those things are exterior. But I think honestly it starts within. So when it comes to motivation, I think the second part for me is like I had to really believe in myself. And sometimes it's hard for many people to believe in themselves because of after failure, but failure means not to try. And I'm so thankful and I'm so blessed to have mentors in my life that taught me that. I really believe in having friendships that's like a staircase. Some that are younger than you, well, some that's doing better than you, some that's on the same level, and then some that are trying to get to where you're at. And then I believe in having friends that are either younger than you so they can teach you things, you could teach them. And I also believe in having friends that's older than me. So one of my good girlfriends, she's like 54. And I've learned a lot about her. The advice that she gives me would be totally different than my friends that's in their 30s. And when I tell her, hey, I think I'm doing all these things. She's like, no, I need you to do better. That's good. That's nice. I mean, thumbs up, but I need you to do better. And she pushes me. But she can push me all she wants. My friends can tell me that they're proud of me. They think that I'm successful. That doesn't mean anything if I don't believe in myself. I learned that once I believe in myself, I was able to receive those compliments, and I was able to push myself to do things that I really wanted to do. And how I believe in myself, how I motivated myself, believing in myself, is saying that, hey, I got this. If I mess up, I'm going to try again. And if I mess up again, I'm really going to try again. And I learned to block negativity. Like if you're negative, like just stay more than 6 feet away. So I've been practicing social distancing with negative people for a long time. And so if you're negative, I don't just stay away from me. I don't need those negative vibes. If you get close, if you get like 4 feet, you're too close to me if you're negative. So I learned to believe in myself. I learned to be my own cheerleader. You know, a lot of times people expect a pat on the back from somebody else, but if you can't do that within yourself, it doesn't mean anything. And I just learned to say, hey, I believe in myself. Like, I can do this. Here's one thing that I do all the time. I do this all the time. I believe in celebrating small accomplishments, big accomplishments, whether it's for me or a friend. If a friend tell me, hey, Sakina, I got a new job, I'm like, drinks on me, let's go out, let's go celebrate. That's a big deal. I do the same for me. So let's say that I handle a new case. So like, I'll tell you this. I was working on this case last year, and I was able to settle in January, and I saved the client probably about almost $30,000 in taxes. I treated myself out to dinner. Yes, I go out to dinner by myself. I don't mind doing that. I do a lot of things by myself. That's just who I am, and I learn a lot too. So I've learned to celebrate the little things. If I learn something new at my job, or if I learn something new in my profession, and I'm happy and I'm able to now, once I've learned, I'm able to now move forward and actually practice it. That's a big deal for me. And so instead of me waiting for a friend to say, hey, let's go out, I'm pretty much at one of my favorite places, which is raw sushi. Like, I'm probably there or somewhere else. And I'll always write, like, in my journal, okay, what's next? You know, what else can I do? Because this is a good feeling. And so believing in yourself, you have to pat yourself on the back. I know, like, when I'm in tax prep or if I'm working on a case, how I, like, believe in myself is like, yeah, I can do this and I'm going to do it well. And then I may have, like, some trap music playing to get me pumped. And that's another way. But I think, you know, for motivating, you have to really believe in yourself. Like, you really have to believe that you really can. And a lot of people lack the confidence within them to believe that they could really do anything that they put their mind to. Like, you could really do anything that you put your mind to. Another thing when it comes to, like, my motivation, like what motivates me, is that I know how prayer works. I know that when I pray for something, I eventually get it. If I don't get it, that's because something is better. And that is all dealing with faith, you know, having faith and believing that this too shall pass. I know that if I pray for something, I'm going to get it. However, it may not be in my time, but it's going to happen in due time. And a lot of times, people lose motivation because of the time that it takes to get what they want. So if you think about, you know, motivation, the grand scheme of things is that there's a goal to it. Like, you're motivating to get where are you actually trying to do? Like, you know, if you want a particular job or there's a goal, the motivation starts like, you know, what's your why? What are you doing to get to that goal, wherever that goal may be? And so for me, prayer works. I know I prayed for certain things and God would bless me with it. However, it was never on my time. It may have taken a year or maybe 2 years, or it may take several years or several months. But I know that what motivates me is that I have a God that I serve and he's amazing. And I know that when I pray to him and I come to him and tell him, like, these are the things that I want, I know that I can really get it, but I have to be patient. However, other things that I think about too, what motivates me, I know that I'm a hard worker, and I know that if I work hard, I can get it. Now, sometimes when it comes to hard work, that may not apply to different things. Like, I'm not sure. I'm a new Insecure watcher. Now, yes, I watched all the episodes. I had binge watched during this pandemic. And the episode yesterday was Molly and Izza, their friendship ended. And when it comes to like motivation, who are your friends? Who encourage you? And I look at that relationship and I ask myself, well, in that relationship, who was encouraging each other? Who was a person that was always reaching out? Who was a person that was like always there? But when it comes to friendships, who's that friend that keeps you lifted? That tells you, it's, the Bible says, sometimes a good friend is better than a brother. It's like a brother. So who keeps you lifted? Who keeps you going? Who tells you like, hey, you got this, you can do this. Even though for me, I read positive affirmations and I'm always positive. And my love language is words of affirmation. It feels good when, I have a good friend, a close friend that encourage me, because some days I don't have it. I'm trying to figure, okay, how I motivate myself. But it's good to have, a group of friends or that one friend that motivates you. I know my best friend during tax season, so from February to April, she will text me right when tax season starts. And she would tell me like, hey, I'm proud of you. I know you got this. Don't let these clients get the best of you. Like, you got this, and I'm so proud. And she would check up on me during tax season. Like, she would check up on me like, hey, how's it going? Some of my friends like, hey, you better not be working late. I'm like, girl, no. I am drinking wine and looking at Netflix. No, I'm not doing that. But it's important to have friends that motivate you, that encourage you, because I just believe success is not done in isolation. Like, you can motivate yourself all you want, which is great, because I think the motivation starts with believing in yourself. And once you believe in yourself, you should be able to receive anything that someone's given to you. But it's good to have good friends. It's really good to have good friends. You never know that your friends can take you to the next level. Another thing what motivates me in my personal life is that I want different results. And so for me, let's say for like staying in shape, if I know the body frame that I want, I know that I had to work for it. And I know that in college, some of law school, my weight was fluctuating. I know the biggest I ever been was 175 pounds. And for me, that was big. I used to wear a size 13, 14. And I did not like that size. I did not like it. And then when I got to college, I changed my eating habits. I stopped frying meats. I stopped frying meats. For you guys that don't know, I don't eat beef or pork. I stopped that a long time ago. I stopped eating pork since 1999. I stopped eating beef in 2004. And so I've learned to eat healthy. But once I made the conscious decision to like stay in shape, I watched what I ate and I started to work out. And then when I got to college, law school, it was more so like, I'm stressed out. I don't have a job. I just have schoolwork and I have to eat because I need that because of stress. And I realized like, hey, my weight is like fluctuating. I don't like this. And in my second year of law school, I just made a change. I just started to run. I started to run like 3 miles a day and I dropped like almost 20 pounds. And I realized that, hey, if I want to get the body frame that I want, I have to work out. And I do that now. Even though there's a pandemic, I jog at least 4 miles a day, 4 or 5 miles a day in total. Sometimes I do more, but that's important to me. So what motivates me is the end result. Like, what do I want? Other things in my personal life, if there's things that I want, I think about what's the end result? If I want a better relationship with a family member, I think about, okay, what motivates me to have that conversation? and think about the end result. The end result can be, we can love on each other. You can't choose your family. So I think about those things. And other things as it relates to my personal life, I think about, well, if I'm this way and I'm not gaining results, what would it be if I change some things about myself? Because I learned that, hey, you attract more bees with honey. And so when it comes to my personal life, I think about the end result, and I think about, hey, the person that I am right now is not achieving the results that I want. And so in order for me to get there, I have to make changes. So what motivates you? What motivates you to be better? What motivates you to say, hey, I have to do this? Maybe it's your children. Maybe it's your family. Whatever it may be. Motivation, it starts with you. You have to believe and know that you can. And even though that's easy to say, like, you really have to believe that. Here's the thing that I recommend. You can have little sticky tabs in your place, wherever you live at, or your room, and write down affirmations. Hey, I got this. You're amazing. You're going to kill it today. I did that in my old studio about 6 years ago. I had sticky tabs all over, and that was from me trying to pass the bar. And I actually passed that time. And I passed because I believed in myself. I know that I can do this. And so I would have sticky tabs all over. So I can have a bad day. And the one thing about me is I can have a long day at work, but when I come home, my home should be my safe haven. I should feel like so happy. And that's the vibe that I had in my last apartment and now my house. Like, it's a happy vibe. If you're negative, don't even step on my porch. Step far away, because I don't need that energy seeping into my house. And so when it came to like motivation, I'm cautious of who I let in my house. And then I had little sticky notes all over my apartment. Like, hey, you got this. I believe in you. You're going to kill it today. And then even in my house, I have positive quotes like all over. And it's just a constant reminder that, hey, you can believe in yourself. I have a quote on my wall that says that you can do anything that you put your mind to. You can be anything. And I read that every single day. So if there's a day that is not so great, I read that quote and remember that, hey, I got this. I can do this. So what's motivating you? What's that one thing that you say to yourself every single day? Maybe it's not words of affirmation that you read on Pinterest or you read online. Like, what are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself, hey, I can do this? Or are you telling yourself, hey, I'm a failure? Because the one thing about failure is that shows that you're actually trying. A lot of times people hate the idea of failure. And I want you guys to get that out of your head that, hey, when you fail at something, that means that you attempted to do so and you were just unsuccessful. And you just need to practice. You need to do it again. And that's okay if you mess up. Like, that's absolutely okay. What's your why? That motivation part. Now you got to think about, you're motivating to get to where? Like, what's your why? Why are you doing the things you're doing now? What is the end result? I can tell you, I love being a lawyer. It's one of the best things I've ever done in my life. One of the best things I've done. But my motivation and everything that I'm doing now when it comes to my career is that I want to teach. I want to teach. Teaching is everything. I want to teach at the college level or law school level. That is my why. I can have a tax case, and if you give it to me from start to finish, I'll win. But if you put me in front of a group of students, I can impact several, and it can go out and change the world. And I think that's 10 times better than solving one particular tax case. Even though I love it, but I'm impactful in the classroom. And so the things that I do now in my career is to get me there. I don't know when it's going to get me there, but that is my why. So when I think about things from a professional aspect, I think about my teaching. When I think about my personal life, what makes me become a better person in my personal life is that I want to have children. I want to get married one day. And I believe in breaking generational curses. And how I get there is by, I plan family reunions. I plan cuddle nights. I do things to bring my family together. And it's not just for me. My motivation to do that is for my future children and their children, so they know who they are. They know where they come from. And so those are the things that I do. So I have my motivation for my personal life, and I have my motivation for my professional life. But what's your why? Know that you can do it. Know that you are amazing. And if you don't have any motivation today, let me tell you that you are great. Let me tell you that you can do it. Let me tell you that you will be successful. But let me tell you that it's going to require you to do some work. If you want to have anything in your life, it requires some type of work. Don't think that things are just going to be handed to you. Like, you have to put in the work. And that is important. A lot of times people see my success and they think, like, Sakina, you had it easy. I never had it easy. Like, things was hard. I almost gave up a lot of times, but I thought about the end result. So if you lack motivation, let me help you get back on track. Think about that end result of what you want. Maybe you want to be a manager at your job. Think about how fulfilling that may be for you. Maybe you're doing it because you want more money. More money is great, but all money is not great. I've taken jobs where I've received less pay because I want a quality of life. And that is important. I left jobs where, it was like a $20,000 increase. Was it $12,000 pay decrease? But I was happy. So if you lack that motivation, think about, like, what's the end result? What are you going to do to get there? Maybe it's a new position, or you can have motivation to be a better parent. This pandemic is maybe allowing you to stay at home with your child more. Maybe you're learning, hey, I need to learn how to better communicate with my child. Any child that's with me, I tell them, listen, I don't do the baby talk. Like, I don't do none of the baby talk. I have real conversations with my niece. She's 16. With my little cousins that's like 10 or 6 years old. But any child that I ever meet and I have a conversation with them, I let them know how amazing they are. And I let them know, hey, you could do anything that you put your mind to. I always ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? My little niece is actually my girlfriend's daughter, and she calls me Aunt Sakina. And last year we had like a little girl sleepover right before my housewarming. And she said, I want to be a slimer. I want to be a professional slimer. And it was cute to me, but I never discouraged her. And I just said, hey, you know what? You want to be a slimer, girl? Yes, you got this. You're going to be the best slimer ever. And even though that may not be the profession that she's looking forward to, she was only 7 at that time, but I encouraged her and said, hey, you can do anything that you put your mind to. And I said, hey, when you become a professional slimer, don't forget about me. And then I thought that, hey, if I told her, oh no, you need to do something else, that would discourage her. And that was important. So what motivates you? What's your why? What drives you to be successful, and go after that. Yes, things may take time. Yes, I get all of that. But what motivates you to be better? Be patient with yourself. Love on yourself a little bit more. Tell yourself that you are amazing. You are great. Love all your flaws. I love all my flaws. I know one eyebrow is shorter than another, but I am happy. I will get a brown eye pencil and I will color that thing in so it could be the same length. I know my flaws. I embrace them. I'm proud of who I am as a person. But it all took in for me to believe in who I am as a person first. And no one can change it. So when you believe in yourself, no one can't tell you that you can't do anything. No one can't tell you, hey, you're impossible. No one can't tell all these things. So when it comes to like motivating yourself, it starts within you. So I hope that you guys have a great Monday. I hope that you guys have a fantastic week. Last week was just like emotionally draining. Like, I had racial conversations with people and I stood my ground. Like, I had like that real Black Lives Matter conversation with people. And I actually had a conversation about what I want in my life to a family member. And I stood true to that. But I pray that this week is even better. I pray that it's less draining. I know for me, I believe in mental health days. So if I need to take another mental health day, I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get some Ritas. Actually, I'm going to get a gelati from Ritas. That's what I want. But I hope and pray that you never forget your purpose in this world. You are designed for a particular reason. No one is not like you. No one can do the things that you can do. They probably can do it, but no one can do it like you. You may be a banker. You may be a particular business owner. Like, you are unique in your own special way, and you have to believe that. So I'm encouraging you to be the best you possible. Be the best you. Never allow someone to tell you what you can do. You can do it. You are amazing. And I just know that this day is going to be so great for you. But you have to believe it. If you're not okay, like, it's okay not to be okay. Like, it's okay. But don't sit in that moment for a long time. Just take it in and say, hey, I'm not having a good day. And then think about things that make you happy. I know that I like looking at comedy shows. Like, I can look at Kevin Hart. I can look at Cat Williams. I like looking at comedy to make me a little happy. Or I like to run. Or I like to, call my cousins and joke with them. I figure out things that make me happy so that way I'm not sitting in that moment where I'm unhappy. So do that for you. But today is going to be a great day. Tomorrow is going to be even better. Wednesday just going to be phenomenal. Thursday, hey, you got it. And Friday, the best is yet to come. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that it inspired you. And lastly, you got this. Take care, guys, and thank you so much.